Andy Gotts has joined us, sitting next to his photographer responsible for an extraordinary coffee table, but it's more of a coffee table rather than a coffee table book. Absolutely chock full of the most famous celebrities in the world. Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Tom Hanks, as we mentioned, Anthony Hopkins and Terence Stamp. Just explain the title and explain the process, because unlike most photographs, books of photographs, Andy, this one has quite an extraordinary tale.
Yeah, it started 8 years ago. I was a photographer in Norfolk. I was doing editorial work for magazines and I was doing newspaper work. And I saw a program on TV about diabetes. And I thought I want to help to do something to raise awareness, to raise a bit of money and stuff. So I went to my local library. I got the Spotlight Directory of Actors and I wrote to 300 actors ad hoc, just hoping some of them would...
To their agents, presumably, would have been the address then?
Exactly, yeah, just agents' addresses. So after 6 months, I had one reply from Joss Ackland, and he said, I'd only do the shoot if you come down and photograph my son's wedding in Clovelly.
Was part of the deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wise man.
So twisted my arm a bit. So I went down. It was a long drive from Norfolk, about 6 hours. So he said, stay the weekend, which I did. Morning time, over breakfast, I sort of opened my heart saying this isn't working, I want to really do a fantastic book, and Joss said, why should any actor be involved? There's no reason, there's no hook, there's no oomph for them to be involved. So he said, why didn't you do the Who Knows Who connection? And it's about that time, about 8 years ago, the Kevin Bacon theme, the game was starting. And so...
You just want to explain... what that is?
Yeah,
because I mean, a lot of people will know the 6 degrees of separation thing, but
I mean, the actual game is called the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where you can link Kevin Bacon to any actor ever within 6 intermediate jumps. So you could choose someone like Herbert Lom, and with 6 actor jumps, you can get to Kevin Bacon, and that was the actual hook of the book, as it were. Mm-hmm. And so each actor suggests a good friend or someone they admire to be the next person to be photographed. And that way, you miss out all agents, all management, everything. They literally pick up the phone or email, and it's directly to them.
So it's a fantastic way of going about it, because of course as soon as you go through agents, you're stuck forever.
Yep.
And fees will be demanded, and all kinds of extra things will be demanded by the stars, like bowls of pineapple chunks and that kind of thing. So it starts off at Joss Ackland. Yeah. Who takes you where?
He said he'd done a movie and was really good mates with Greta Scacchi. I think she played his wife in White Mischief. Mm-hmm. And they were really good friends. So literally on the spot, he phoned Greta. She'd love to do it. And I went down to Bexhill to photograph her. And literally that is how it happened. Then I shot Greta. She suggested Alan Cumming. Then Alan to Saffron Burrows. Then to Malcolm McDowell, and to Alan Bates. And it's Alan Bates that wrote the foreword to my book that I was so pleased about. He wrote it 2 weeks before he died. It's his last penned work. And so I'm very, very thrilled, actually.
And a beautiful picture of him, too.
Oh, thank you very much. And also, the nice connection was Alan chose Pierce Brosnan as his connection. Was they did the movie Evelyn together. Then... Obviously, poor Alan passed away, and Piers wanted to write a tribute to the book for Alan, and again adds just another dimension to the whole project, which is fantastic.
And you look at the picture of Pierce Brosnan, and you think, oh, he's ugly, isn't he? Anyway, so once you're into that kind of league, then of course the world is your oyster. Just give us a sample of the journey.
Yeah, I mean, it started off basically as UK-based actors, which is a fantastic source. You have people like John Hurt and Jeremy Irons and Ken Branagh, all are fantastic British actors. Then getting over to America, that was the hard bit, because I shot Ken Branagh. He looked through all my portfolio and said, where are the Americans? And obviously I'd love to go to America to do them. So he said, well, my management looks after Kevin Kline. Do you fancy doing him? So of course I said yes, and he set it all up. I went to do Kevin Kline in New York, and from there the whole thing opened up. And it's fantastic. When I got to Dustin Hoffman, the whole snowball effect, the whole organic effect of this project opened up. But I went from Dustin Hoffman to Brad Pitt to George Clooney to Julia Roberts to Susan Sarandon to Paul Newman.
And these are all people, they So I think it's George Clooney has got. Is it Brad Pitt who's got George Clooney's number, or the other way around?
Yeah, I mean, it was literally, I shot Brad Pitt in Shepperton Studios. He was over here shooting Troy, and I was told by the stage crew I've got 12 minutes of his time because he's doing makeup and lighting and very busy. An hour and a half later, we were still chatting. He loved the project. He thought, I work by myself. It's all charity. He really wanted to help. So after the shoot, he said, "What can I do to help you?" So I got out my wish list of actors, and he said, "Well, I'm good mates with Clooney. What would he do for you?" I said, "Of course, he'd do." He got out his cell phone.
Yeah, he'll do. Just
yeah,
about.
he'll do. Bless him. He got out his cell phone. He dialed George on the spot, handed me the mobile phone, and said, "Andy, George, Andy." And George said, "No, I'm in Lake Como for the summer. Pop over for the weekend."
He never said that. On the basis of one recommendation from Brad Pitt.
Exactly.
You're in there at Clooney's house.
Exactly. Lovely place. And
I should jolly well hope so.
yeah, I mean, the funny thing is about George Clooney's house, it's a 24-room mansion on the lake, and he has the front doors opened, and he sits on this chaise lounge, and the wildlife come in from the lake, and he sits there feeding the wildlife at his feet in this beautiful ornate room.
He's too perfect, George, isn't he? He
No,
seems
it's-
like a really nice guy, and he's gorgeous, and
This
he's
is
a very
it.
good actor and a director. Makes you see.
Yeah.
So were there any jumps which you thought, well, no, they don't fit, they're not quite big enough?
Well, now and again, people suggest, I've got a cousin who's now starting out to be an actor. I think, well, no. I mean, so what I always say is, if it can be someone international, and it has to be an actor, that always gets me through. But now and again, the same actor pops up. You have 3 or 4 people, like Tony Hopkins, 3 or 4 people suggested him, and they have to go back to the...
Is there anyone that you failed to get?
There was 3 people. I made a wish list of 100 or so people. I got everyone apart from Clint Eastwood, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. Al Pacino said he'd do it, but time ran out. I got Morgan Freeman to phone up Clint Eastwood for me, but he's so busy, he turned it down.
Presumably the upshot is that you're now mates or have contact with the biggest movie stars in the world, and if you need something from them, or if they need a photographer who they like for their next private portfolio, they know who to call.
Yeah, I mean, this is the handy thing, because as it is
Is that true? Is that how it's worked?
That is exactly as it's worked, because if, for example, I was trying to get hold of an actor and it's hard to get hold of, I'd email someone like Brad Pitt or George, say, can you sort of nudge Anthony Hopkins to answer to me a bit quicker? And as it works back to front, if they want personal portraits done. Then,
What's Brad Pitt's email again? Just
hunk at.
well, I mean, the portraits are stunning. I mean, they absolutely are beautiful, and it's all in aid of
Diabetes research.
diabetes research. Is it easy to get? You need a forklift truck to take it home, but is it generally available, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, you can get it from any good bookshop, but Amazon are doing a fantastic deal at the moment.
Andy, appreciate your time. Thank you very much indeed. And the book is called Degrees. Andy Gotts, thank you very much indeed. You're listening to 5 Live on AM, on digital and online. The news comes next.